Welcome to the Catholic Life Coach Podcast. My name is Carla Fitz. I am a certified life coach, wife, and mom of two beautiful little girls. My hope for this podcast is to offer support and empower other Catholic women to live their most authentic life. To share life coaching tools from a Catholic perspective in order to help you live a more fulfilling life filled with peace, joy, and abundance. Let's get started. Hello and welcome. I am pleased, blessed, and thankful to have you all here with me every single Friday. It's a joy in my life to put these out and to connect with all of you. It's so fun. Before I get into today's topic, I wanted to give you guys some updates because I am always talking about how life is 50-50, right? There's 50% positive emotions and 50% negative emotions. And then there's always 50% amazing circumstances and 50% not so great circumstances. Depending on how you guys see it, you will feel it differently. It's going to feel different depending on what you believe about it, right? But life is 50-50. And this week has been a reminder of life is 50-50. I love my life here. It's beautiful. I love our home. I love our friends and our family and the joys of our life and our church. And I love it. I love it. But it was 104 degrees yesterday. And allow me to tell you that I live in the middle of nowhere. There is no beach. There's a lake in which we cannot swim. And it was hot. It was very uncomfortable. And I am 7 months pregnant. So it was intense yesterday. But it's a reminder that life balances out, that God is giving us opportunities to feel negative emotions in order to grow, as well as He's giving us beautiful opportunities to feel positive emotions as well. It has been a beautiful week so far, but it's been a 50-50 week. Great moments that I have gotten to experience at church and meeting new people. And it's been so fun. It's been so fun. Yeah, it's been really fun. Also, before we get started, I wanted to apologize to all of you who listened to my last podcast and thought, Carla, those are not the disciples. Those are the apostles. This is why I do not call myself an expert on anything. I am allowed to make mistakes and I will make mistakes. And that's one of the beautiful things about life. That's why I love coaching, because it's an opportunity to check in to see what is going well and what's not going so great. I love it. It made me laugh. And yeah, when it was brought to my attention, I was like, oh goodness, I completely missed that. I missed it. And I want to make it okay for all of us. This is what's really fun about life, is to have no expectations of being perfect. This is why I started the podcast in the first place. If you guys have heard my podcast for a while, I have been at this for about a year now, which is crazy. And I'm so excited and thankful for that. But if there's anything you know about me, and there's anything that I want you to know about me, is that I am not perfect and I don't pretend to be perfect. And I think that's beautiful in life, is to show ourselves as we are, as God created us. And I have a lot of strong opinions, but I don't mind making mistakes. I don't mind messing up. And I'm so sorry. I don't mind apologizing either. So hopefully it made sense and hopefully it didn't bother you. And if it did, here's the apology. Today's episode is actually going to have to do with making mistakes and allowing ourselves to make mistakes, because I think that is a constant thing that I see throughout the board of people who are very miserable in their life, are people who want to get things right the first time. These are people who do not want to make a mistake. They're perfectionists to the point of not taking action because they're afraid of making a mistake. And I think that's one of the things that I'm so thankful that God gave me as a personality trait, is being okay with messing up. It's so much fun that way. When I meet people who want to get things perfect the first time, there is so much suffering happening within, because we cannot achieve perfection. There is no such thing as achieving perfection. There's only one person who's perfect, and that is God. That is Jesus and the Holy Spirit. That's it. Those are the only people who are perfect and Mary, right? Other than that, we are all human. We are all bound to make mistakes, and we are also allowed to make mistakes. If we do not make mistakes, we do not learn. That is the only way that we learn. I always love the analogy of the children who are starting to walk. And I have two so far, one coming. So I've seen it happen so many times. When they are starting to walk, there's no expectations for us as parents, or at least I hope there's not, for them to do it perfectly the first time, right? Like it's totally okay. They're going to fall and that's okay. And what does a child do when he or she falls down? They get up and they try again. They don't make it a big deal. Some of them might, some of them cry and they get hurt and stuff, but then they do it again. They did not make anything that happened in the past mean anything about the future. They do not make anything about the past tell them how things are going to work out in their life. And I think that is a beautiful example for us to remember as adults is that when we are learning something new or we are doing something new, we are allowed to fall. We are allowed to make a mistake or a few mistakes or 1,000 mistakes before we get it correctly. The worst mistake that we can make is to pretend that we're going to get it right. And if we don't, there's something wrong with us. That's not a thing. We're just human. We are not perfect, and that is okay. With that said, I wanted to touch base on our dreams, on our goals, on our desires, on the person that God is calling us to call and that we desire to become, right? And what I wanted to remind you is to stop waiting until you feel ready. This is something that I hear my clients say often, and it is also something that I have said to myself way too many times. For the record, everything that I put in this podcast, every single content, it is something that I have gone through. None of this is like, oh, this is what I tell my clients, and I've never experienced it. I am very open with that. I have gone through everything that I have taught you in this podcast. I have had to learn on myself. Like I had to experience it myself, and I had to develop into. And that's why I love coaching, because I've experienced it myself. And now I get to help my clients as well to overcome these thoughts that they are consistently having. And this is one of the thoughts that I have had for way too long and that I see my clients having all of the time. Oh, I cannot start a podcast because I'm not ready. I cannot reach this goal because I am not that kind of person. I cannot get help yet because I'm not ready. I cannot take this trip because I don't feel ready. I have a not that exciting news, but a beautiful truth. And it is you are never going to feel ready to do something new. That's never going to happen. Stop waiting to feel ready to take that next action that you feel called to take. You are only going to feel ready once you have achieved it. And even then, you're going to be onto a new thing and you won't feel ready to do the thing. That reality of feeling ready doesn't happen unless you do something. And that is that you decide that you are ready. We do not become ready, we decide we are ready. So often, like for me, was like, oh, I will take a trip to Italy once I have achieved this certain thing. And I would make these like random things that I needed to achieve before taking a trip to Italy. And then all of a sudden, God put the idea in my heart that I needed to go to Italy. And my husband and I sat down, we did the budget, and we decided that we were going to Italy the next February. Decide. The only way you are going to feel ready is if you decide that you are ready. The other thing I want to mention is that there is nothing you need to change about yourself to make that decision. You don't need to edit anything about yourself. You don't need to better anything about yourself in order to make that next step, to make a decision. Because here's the thing, the beginning of every single dream starts with a decision. It starts with deciding or putting this idea outside of your brain and thinking and saying it out loud that is something you would love to have. Whether that is a certain weight loss, whether that is a money goal, whether that is a dream that you have, or visiting a place, or going to meet a saint that you desire so deeply to go visit, whether that is becoming a homeschool mom or becoming a stay-at-home mom or deciding to start a business, whatever your goal is, the first step that you need to take in order to achieve that goal is to make a decision today. There's nothing you need to wait for. So often, I think the mistake that we have in our heads or the thought error that we have in our heads is that we need to become worthy of that goal in order to have that goal. God already made us worthy. You are not going to be more worthy tomorrow or next week or next month. You are 100% worthy now to go after your dreams, to go after your goals. And I've also seen that happen when it comes to getting help. When you desire to work with someone, this was my thing when I was joining my coach. I was like, I don't know if I'm ready to work with this level of a coach. And I just remember thinking, no, I'm already a person who works with this level of a coach, who achieves goals at this level. And she's only going to help me get there faster. But I'm already the person that decides to go after this goal. Because the first thing is to declare it, right? Like you are with yourself and you're like, I really want this dream. And you're like, God, this is something that I really, really want. That is the very first step, is to acknowledge it, to know that it exists from within you, that goal is inside of your heart and that you desire it truly. And then from then on, you get in that car and you are riding along with God. He's going to give you opportunities. He's going to present you with a new person in your life, or co-worker in your life, or a new boss, or a new job, or a new opportunity. Whatever it may be, your eyes need to be open. And if your eyes are not open, you miss it. And the only way to open your eyes is to decide that you are ready for it. I hope this is making sense. The truth is, when you decide to go after something that you have not yet achieved, your brain is going to come up with about a million reasons why you will not achieve it. Everybody else can, but you can't. Whatever that goal is, your brain is going to come up with all the thoughts necessary to keep you safe. Thoughts like, I'm not ready yet. That person has that because of this and this and that circumstance. I'm not good enough to do that. I can't achieve that. Or my absolute favorite, I've never done it before, so why would it happen now? Here's why. Our past does not define our future. Whatever we have not achieved in the past does not affect the future. What affects the future is what we believe, what we decide to think, what we decide to spend our time believing into and taking action in and feeling. All of those things matter. What matters in the future is how you decide to show up to the goals that God has put in your heart. That is what matters. Your past cannot possibly define your future. I know that it feels true. I know that when you're in that mindset of like, I haven't yet achieved it, therefore I will never, it feels true. It does not feel like a thought. It feels like a circumstance. This is fact. Back in the day when I was almost 300 pounds, I remember that was my thought when it came to weight loss. I'm never going to achieve this. I have tried to lose weight in so many different ways. I have tried so many diets and I have struggled with this weight, losing this weight for almost a decade and had a lot of proof of that. If I had continued to believe that because I had this proof that nothing had worked so far, nothing was going to work in the future, I would have never risked joining my coach. I would have never tried a new thing. I would have never found the thing that actually worked. And no time is wasted, for the record. Everything that I learned prior to joining my coach came in handy. I had learned new things, new ways of eating. I learned what calories were and what proteins were and carbs were. And like I was very clear on what foods to eat. I did not need coaching on that. I needed coaching on my mindset, on feeling my emotions and embracing my emotions rather than fighting them all of the time. Everything came in handy. All the struggles that you have been having so far that have caused you to believe that you cannot change the future or that you need to become ready in order to take the next step are just facts of the past, and you get a choice on how to think about them. But the truth is, from this point, from this moment on, you have a completely different life to create. And you can create it. Because that is what happened to me. If I could do it, you guys can absolutely do it. Because for me, it was I had to lose 100 pounds and my life completely changed in 6 months. What had taken me 10 years struggling my way out of took me 6 months to complete. The same thing keeps happening. What I thought would take me so long just keeps moving faster once I open my mind for the possibility of it happening, of God providing it for us. Just yesterday, I was thinking about when we bought this house. Prior to buying this house, I had no money, had no business thinking that I could afford this house. And yet I trusted that God somehow would give us a house like this someday. I wasn't attached to the timeline, but I knew that it was coming. I trusted that it was coming. And the truth is, I had never had a house like this before. If I paid attention to my past and I waited to feel ready to take the next step, I would have never taken the step to say, hey, let's go ahead and sell the house. Of course, I needed my husband because he was the one with the idea, but I trusted. And that's what we need to practice, is to trust that first, we can decide now to change our lives. Second, we can decide to trust that God is going to take care of us no matter what. Even if we fall, even if we make a mistake, even if the thing that we try next doesn't exactly work, there is a reason for that step. Trust that God is going to use that step for your good, to empower you, to help you grow. It's all working out for that ultimate desire that you have in your heart. Nothing has been wasted. There's nothing you need to prove to yourself or to anyone else. You are 100% worthy and you are 100% ready to achieve your goals. You are 100% ready to become the person that you desire to become. Stop waiting to feel ready. Decide on purpose now that you are ready. And all of a sudden, you will see your life start to change. You will start embodying that person that has that goal. And it will change. Your surroundings, your outside will change. I love the quote. I don't know who said it. I will not say the name because I will get it wrong. But we do not see evidence of our dreams before we believe our dreams. Pretty sure I butchered that, but I think that kind of makes sense. We need to believe that our dreams are coming before we see evidence in the outside world. And part of that walk towards our goal, towards our dreams, is trusting God. Because through our lens, through our human eyes, we can only see human possibilities. If we leave God's possibility out of the equation, we are limited. And of course, we're limited. We're meant to be limited. We are meant to have unity and relationship with God. And in that is when we learn to trust Him and to surrender our goals, our dreams, our hope to Him. But when it comes to our part, it's important to decide that we are ready. My friends, I hope that you have an amazing weekend. And I am excited. I'm going to be putting podcasts together. There's some exciting things that are going to start coming out in the podcast as well. So keep an eye out and know that I am here for you. Whatever you guys need, I'm here. I hope you have an amazing week. And until next time, God bless. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to be part of this community. If you are enjoying these episodes, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel so that you are notified the next time the episodes come out. Also, right now, I have some spots open to work with me one-on-one. This program will change your life. I 100% believe that without God, we can't. But without us, God won't. I will help you step into your power. I will help you take the actions that you need to take in order for you to create the most fulfilling and aligned life. A life that feels aligned with you and with God. And that life is available to you right now. Check the link in the description to reserve a time to chat with me. I will see you then.